Today's video is all about curing your slice, giving you an instant slice fix. Sean, it's rare that when we see a golfer who's slicing the ball, that they don't have one, two, or all three of these elements we're getting ready to talk about. And there's no better place to start than with how slicers put their hands on the club.
Yeah, notoriously they usually grip it bad.
They usually do.
And by gripping it bad, normally that means in the left hand it's way too much in the palm or the top hand for a right-handed golfer.
So I'll be the hand here, and you show them what you're talking about.
Yeah, so a lot of times they'll come in, let's say they're coming in to the airport again, grabbing the suitcase. They would grab it in a way that was in the palm
Nobody
too
would
much,
do.
and nobody would do it. What you would do is grab it more in the fingers or kind of the base of the fingers.
Right.
Get your hand around it so you've got some leverage. Also, almost like you were doing a pull-up, you would grab this bar in a certain way so you had, you know, like a mechanical advantage to lift yourself up. You wouldn't grab it in the palm.
I think golfers, since we grab the club while it's static and not moving at 100 miles an hour,
grab it any way you want.
We grab it any way we want. Now when the club starts picking up speed, now all of that stuff makes it very difficult to square the face.
Yeah, so that's number one, you know, is get it more in the base of the fingers. I think the other part of the grip is just making sure that it's rotated to the right enough so that you got your V's pointed somewhere near your right shoulder.
Show them that again. Let me have your club and show them what you're talking about with those hands.
Yeah, so if this was straight up and down, let's get them both rotated slightly clockwise, I guess you would say. So if this is straight, rotate them a little and then grip it. So now you've got the V's.
You've got the V's here between the thumb and index fingers pointing over here to the right shoulder.
Yeah, and that gives you a good chance to have the face pretty square throughout the swing. So if you get your grip more in the fingers, get the V's pointed in the right direction, that gives you a pretty good head start with the grip.
What's something they can use to kind of see all those things?
Yeah, so I think, you know, it's always nice to have a drill and a feedback mechanism. I think people that grip it in the palm notoriously let go of the club a lot. So I think a good way to check this is, you know, grab it like you're picking up your suitcase, then put a tee underneath the pad of your hand and on top of the club, and you should be able to maintain that pressure point throughout the swing.
What we see a lot of times is poor grips will get up to the top, the club will bounce around, this wrist just completely cupped, and now you grab it and it snaps it, casts it, all those things, always with an open club face.
Every single time. So that gives you a good way to check it, to make sure you've got it in the right place, A, and B, that you're not letting go of the club.
That's right. That's a great way to shore up your grip. Now, that may fix your slice in and of itself, the next ball you hit, because you're going to have your hands on there a lot better. For some of you, you're going to need to take a look at the next topic. All right, so for the second part of curing that slice instantly, we're going to take a look at how your club face. So if you got a good grip, you get to the club face, or get the club up to the top, golfers still find ways to open the club face on the way down.
Yeah, I think it might feel powerful to lag it, or they've been taught to lag it, so they really twist it, which allows them actually to get more angle between the club and the forearm, but it also twists the face open.
And we talked about in one of our previous videos with the hack motion wrist sensor. That's the wrong way to get lag.
Yeah, and I can start seeing that face pointed at me.
Right.
This ball is going to right field.
Right, he's got no chance.
Exactly right.
So this is a little piece of white tape from the golf bag and a golf tee, and we'll zoom in on this so you can see it. But it's a great way to get a little laser pointer right there on your sweet spot.
Poor man's laser.
Poor man's laser. This is like Dr. Evil's laser, right? And
laser beams.
Yeah, it's exactly right. So what Sean wants to do now is take it up to the top, and if this is our target line right there, he wants to start cutting that laser beam right on this target line as soon as he can.
Yeah, see, that squares the face up
That's
a lot
right.
earlier.
Now let's go to the top again with it open and start down. You can see the laser beam would be cutting somewhere up an airplane or somewhere up in the sky. We want to get that laser beam cutting right down the earth much sooner. Right for there. So it's not, an open club face isn't solved right down here by the golf ball. It's really solved way up here. Because
and even at address with the grip.
That's exactly right. So if you're a slicer, you're going to have one, an open club face, two, the path is going to be skewed, and three, you're going to be trying very hard down here in the least amount of time to fix all that, and it's just not going to happen consistently. So let's rewind the clock a little bit, get our grip shored up, get our Dr. Evil laser beam tracking down here in this target line much sooner. That's right. And we're going to do number three. Sean, number three, right? we see bad grips all the time. We see open club faces all the time, but we see this one maybe as much or more than any of them. And it's how the arms move relative to the body, or how they attach themselves relative to the body.
Absolutely, and the concept that people have as to how they're supposed to stay connected or not stay connected,
Right.
gets really
Right.
skewed.
I think connection. I heard another pro, and I really wish if you said it, please contact me because we'll give you credit.
Yeah.
But he said connection is down here at impact. It's not starting the downswing. I think
right.
that's a great way to think about it.
That's right. So let's go ahead and talk about what we see with golfers and what they do from the top. So
Right.
I do this a lot in lessons. I know Mike does it too. So I'll be the student and you be the
Okay.
teacher. So I'll have the student make a decent grip, make a normalish backswing, and then I'll come in as Mike as a teacher is going to come in and hold me on either
So what
side
I'm
of
going
my
to do
chest.
is kind of hook his shoulder and his ribs here so he can't unwind his body.
And what I'll tell the student to do is try to get the club head down toward the ground to hit the
Right.
ball. And 9 times out of 10 they go like this.
Yeah, can't do it.
They can't move. So that tells me right away how their mechanism for getting to the ball. And then I'll come in, go ahead and grip me. This is me now, and I'll say, it's really not that hard. You just let your arms kind of swing down.
Right.
So that's a totally different
That's
concept for them, and the light bulb usually goes off.
Well, we did a video recently where you were hitting balls on your knees.
Same thing.
And if you try to do that on your knees, you wouldn't hit it very far.
No, you wouldn't, and you wouldn't be able to even make contact probably.
That's right.
So once you get to the top of the swing, if you've been guilty of this kind of upper body driven kind of pattern out of the top, and you all of a sudden start letting your arms get some freedom, not only are you going to get more speed, but you can see the club starts to plane totally different.
That's right, because remember, we're talking about slicers, right? So the slicer is going to have an open club face. That's the first 2 parts of this video corrected that. Now we've got that path relative to that open club face, and if you're coming down and it feels strong,
Yeah.
the big shoulder lurch, that club is going this way, that's your slicing path. We want the arms to kind of get it under the shoulder turn, we like to say all the time, and get it coming from the inside out. It's going to really encourage that club face to start closing up here.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, we're not swinging a sledgehammer. A sledgehammer would be this
Right.
way. We want to get speed in the club head, right?
That's
So
exactly
if
right.
I get some speed in the club head, I would instinctually start to swing my arms and let the club kind of whoosh through. If I wanted to go slow, I would do like this, is my thought in my
You
head.
demonstrating that reminded me of a great point. Do that again, that little pump that you were doing.
The bad one?
Yeah, let's actually face the camera here and let's do that. So what he's doing, no, I'm sorry, the good one. So what he's doing is, we see a lot of golfers rehearse this, and they'll come up and they'll hold this.
Ah,
That right there is drastically, devastatingly dangerous to your swing, because look at what you're practicing.
Yeah.
A wide open club face, hands forward. You want to practice getting rid of those angles.
let the club head line up with the
Yes.
ball, and look what happens. The face is square.
That's right.
Right? So adding in this arm swing, you've also got to let some of these wrist angles out. When you do that, the club is going to square up through the ball.
That's exactly right. So now you're going to have the grip to produce this. You're going to have the club face working properly because you're not doing these counter moves, and then you're going to have the arm speed to really start to plane this shaft and get it on a good path to give you all the elements to make this ball not slice, but maybe hit your first draw ever, and then it gets real addictive from there. If you'd like more distance instantly, we put together a video just for that. All you need to do to get that video is click on the link below in the first pinned comment. We'll ask for your name, your email, and we'll send it out to you immediately.
If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Once you do that, click on notifications so you know when we have a brand new video coming out right away.
Right, we want to make this channel's content just for you guys, just for your golf game. So leave us some comments down below if you'd like to see something that we haven't already covered, or want to see it covered in a different way. We'll do our best to get that for you as soon as we can. And don't forget, if you want to hit the ball farther, click the link below in the first pinned comment.
Get you some instant distance.
Instant.